He's an angry man, wasn't he? But then I guess I'd be angry if I'd been giving football-based interviews to Piers Morgan. I think that would annoy me.
Johnny says, please spend the first 20 minutes on Ireland. There's nothing new or interesting to say about England. They're quite good. Move on. Alan, is Troy Parrott the greatest of all ornithological-based sportsmen? Larry Bird feels disappointed with that, or maybe Gavin Peacock. Anyway, let's start with Ireland's 2-0 win over Portugal. It gives you hope, football. That's what it's done to these Irish fans.
It was like the archetypal stolen away win, wasn't it? 22% possession, 234 passes, of which 30% of them went astray, but it didn't matter. They scored 2 out of their 3 shots on target. I was having a listen to some Irish fans' TV, as you do in the early hours of the morning after an Irish victory, and I just love the hyperbole. I mean, Ogbene, who I love when he was at Luton, he's now at Sheffield United. He hit the base of the post, and he was being compared to Thierry Henry by Irish fans TV. So, like, you've just got to love it. But yeah, I feel I'm delighted for Troy Parrott because if you go back, 4 or 5 years ago, he was sort of anointed more by the media as the successor to Harry Kane and to Son at Spurs, and it didn't really work out for him. Well, actually, Mourinho did it because he sort of handed him a match ball after his debut. But yeah, he gets a couple of goals. He's over in Holland playing now. Sometimes it just shows there's a different path to success. So delighted for Ireland. I wish I was there. It sounded loud. It definitely was very loud, and well, I'm sure someone else will come on to it, but it's always fun to see Cristiano Ronaldo applauding the crowd as he leaves the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, just on Troy Parrott, he's got 13 and 14 for AZ Alkmaar. First goals for Ireland since June 2024. He said, "This is probably the best night I've had in my entire life. I have no words to describe it. We all know how important this game was for us, particularly after the other result tonight. I am overwhelmed. I don't know what words to use, but I am over the moon." So they do feel like it feels like the right time to bring out a cliche. Sam alluded to it, Jacob. Is there anything better than seeing Ronaldo get sent on if that way? Just VAR is annoying, but when the crowd just knew, they could see every single step of what was going to happen. It was sort of heavenly.
Yeah, it was very strange as well. The reaction from Ronaldo, the weird crying stuff that he did with the crowd after he got sent off. It was just very, very weird. I don't really know what was going on there. I don't know if there's a logical explanation for what was going on. It looked like a man who was having a meltdown very publicly, and then he has a row with the Ireland manager when he went off. Yeah, it's just very strange, and it would have added to the whole joyous nature of it for the Ireland fans. But looking at the Portugal team, it looks kind of like half a good team. So if you think in your head that's a really, really good team that's going to go for the World Cup and be one of the favourites, and then you kind of look at the starting lineup last night, and it's got the PSG guys from midfield and everything, Neves and Vitinha, and then you sort of look up front, they've got a 40-year-old who's playing in Saudi Arabia, playing with João Felix, and it's sort of, right, okay, would this be better with Pauletta up front? I don't know. Are we just in that place where they still don't have a striker? I don't know, just with Portugal, we feel like it should be much better, and they shouldn't be in that position of losing to Ireland, but it just feels like they've just got those little personnel issues still going on in that team that means they're less than the sum of their parts.
Ringing up Portuguese sports radio to demand where is the next Helder Postiga. The thing is, Dan, that red card, if it's upgraded to violent conduct, and I presume it was violent conduct, but if it is, if they win their group, he misses the opening 2 games of the World Cup, perhaps. Like, that is extraordinary for doing that. Like, it was such a sort of Street Fighter 2 elbow, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% violent conduct, so I can't see how it doesn't get upgraded. Didn't Wayne Rooney miss a couple of games because of doing something similar? Didn't he get done and he missed a few games for a red card?
Euro 2012, but I can see how it wouldn't get upgraded in that it's Ronaldo and it's FIFA, and
that might help. That does.
For the first 2 games of the World Cup, I don't know.
Yeah, that does help in his last World Cup as well as he's announced this week. He's an angry man, wasn't he? But then I guess I'd be angry if I'd been giving football-based interviews to Piers Morgan. I think that would annoy me as well. In fairness, it was the game was great though. Just obviously I was watching the England game, but I've watched back the Ireland highlights and. Tale of 2 number 7s, really, and the whole dialogue around the game will be about the 2 number 7s, but some great finishes from Troy Parrott. And in fairness, I would say that's probably what Ireland haven't done enough of. Maybe even over the last 10 years, they always used to have that in them where they could take on a big nation at home and they bloody their nose, and they've given themselves a chance. But now Jacob said it, I can't imagine that red card getting upgraded, considering who Ronaldo's friends are.
Do you think that what they'll do is that when Donald Trump accepts the FIFA Peace Prize, he will be given, as you know, Gianni will say, as part of the Peace Prize, you get to pardon, because he likes pardoning people, Trump, doesn't he? You'll get to pardon someone, and he will pardon Cristiano Ronaldo for that loose elbow, and then all will be right with football, or all will be wrong with football. Actually, Sam, Jacob alluded to it actually about Portugal, but they had a bit of a high line, but you could see Ireland, you know, the way they got in, the way Ogbene got in, the way I think Parrott got in for his second goal was just stick it over the top and turn them. It's so 1980s Ireland, that 1990s Ireland, I guess.
It was beautiful. And I think what Jacob's basically saying is Portugal are QPR under Harry Redknapp when they've got a team that would have won the Premier League 10 years prior, but they're past their sell-by date. But yeah, and they did that. They kept getting in behind them, full of running on Benny. And we should say the finish from Parrott for that second goal, because most of us, and probably the goalkeeper, expect him to go far post, right, bend it round the defender, and he goes inside the defender, inside that near post. So it was a moment of quality. And the first goal was a set piece as well worked set piece. It's an easy finish from Parrott. So yeah, it was route one. It just shows that you can go back to 90s football. Hallgrimsson, there was a bit of psychological stuff before the game when he was talking about, well, I hope that the referee doesn't allow Ronaldo to ref the game. And I think when he went off, Ronaldo said to the Ireland manager, well, basically, he complimented me for putting pressure on the referee, is what Ronaldo said. So, like, the old school mind games from Hallgrimsson, old school football from Ireland, just wonderful result.
Ireland have moved with the times and Portugal haven't, because that's the direction football's going in, and Ireland have gone with it and Portugal haven't.
Well, I was just going to say, I guess, you know, speaking to that, Ireland made this whole play, didn't they, of trying to play a more kind of Pep style of football under previous managers, and this is the way that we've got to go. We've got to play possession football and build from the back, but they don't really have the players to do it. So why would you not play to your strengths? Like a lot of, I mean, the first goal, it looked like a Premier League goal. The well-worked set piece, corner to the back post, head it in, and someone's there to finish it off. And that's clearly going to be very effective for a team probably with quite limited players relatively to Portugal, but also not a lot of time to work on it. And it's probably going to be quite effective at the World Cup as well for other teams of that kind of level. Set pieces, if you don't have a lot of time to work on it, then it's going to work on the general play, then set pieces are going to be massive, aren't they?
And actually, Barry did pipe up in the WhatsApp group because obviously Portugal have the same set piece coach as Aston Villa, and he yelled, Austin McPhee, your lads took one hell of a beating there. But I presume you didn't take that personally, Dan. You know, when he's on international duty, you don't mind what he does.
Don't take it personal. I was just trying to enjoy the England game, and then I was getting abuse from someone who's not even on the podcast today. So I was surprised to receive that WhatsApp.
Ireland play Hungary on Sunday with a chance to make the playoffs if they win. Well, they do make the playoffs if they win. Amazing turnaround since their loss to Armenia early in the campaign. If Hungary win and Portugal lose to Armenia, it seems unlikely Portugal would go into the playoff. So it's all still alive in that group.